Back with Christopher Hitchens on The Buzz. You know, the big question, we're going to go out this week. One more advertisement, one more plug. This Wednesday, we're going to be in that campus hotbed of Madison, Wisconsin, which was so hot during the 60s, along with Ann Arbor and Berkeley and Cambridge. We're going to be having a town meeting with just Ralph Nader for an hour with the students hitting him. I thought that when the kids came back to campus, the students, this thing would catch on. And it seems like it has. I sound like William Shatner. This is going to catch on. What do you think of him? Will he get the 5% nationally, do you think, that he says he needs to build the Green Party into a going concern?
Well, I thought not after the convention. I thought the Democratic one, I thought people
because Gore moved to the left.
The moral blackmail would work, but it hasn't, and I think I know why, because the trick was so blatant. And then there was the way in which he was not just kept out of the debate, but threatened with arrest for trying to be in the audience and kept away from commenting at the Fox News trailer. I mean, real Banana Republic thuggish tactics. So people thought, no, wait a minute. We had to live through pretty much fixed primaries, empty fixed primaries, rigged stage-managed conventions, open defiance of the law on money, all of this. And now they want us to have fixed debates too, and then they say we owe them our votes. No, it's too much. Mexico has said no to this kind of plebiscite instead of an election. Serbia has said no to having a plebiscite instead of an election. There ought to be enough people in the United States to say no. We want the world to know there are some Americans who've had enough of this. They would rather have democracy than the Democratic Party.
More than two
Al Gore, if you woke him up and said, would you choose the Democratic Party over democracy, he would say yes, you'd have to.
Could it be one of the reasons why Nader has moved into the fore and being one of the three people we're going to be talking about in the next week is that Pat Buchanan has faded, and it's not just a question of Nader and Buchanan anymore. Pat has faded down to somewhere below 1, despite all his money that he's gotten from the FEC.
Not low enough, but still.
Perhaps not. But Nader has become the angry candidate. He's the one who, according to William Safire in the New York Times today, he appeals to right as well as left. Safire argues that it isn't just kids on the left or workers who are disalienated on the left. It's a lot of angry people on the right who don't like the way things are moving in this country.
Ralph's relations with the Conservatives, the honest Conservatives, has always been very good. He's also, one reason I'm in favour of him, he's the only candidate in the election who's openly said he was for the impeachment and conviction and removal of Clinton. He said there's a certain level of corruption you can't put up with. It's impressive.
You mean he said that, but Bush hasn't?
Bush has not said a word about it. Bush gives the impression he wishes none of that had ever come up. Al Gore probably secretly did hope that it would have happened because it's probably his best chance to become president, but that's a different thing.
Is your bet for or against the possibility of the Democrats?
There are other reasons why people
can the Gore forces go back and take these votes back?
Nader, though he's an immigrant, can speak English much better than either of the candidates.
Who's an immigrant?
Nader.
He is?
Yes.
From where?
Lebanon.
He is not an immigrant. His parents were.
Yeah, well, he's. I think he's from the
first generation.
Yeah, he is. He speaks English much better than.
Well, I'm an immigrant by that standard. I'm second generation.
I'm an immigrant, but English is my native tongue.
Yes.
But he's much more intelligent, much more articulate, much more courageous, and he talks a lot of sense.
Yesterday, Green Party presidential candidate Ralph Nader was asked by ABC's Sam Donaldson about ads arguing a vote for Nader would be devastating to abortion rights. Here's Ralph Nader's response.
They could have overturned Roe versus Wade 3 times in the last 10 years. They didn't do it. This is a scare tactic that's going on here. When George W. Bush was asked by Tim Russer, is he going to push to reverse Roe versus Wade? George Bush said, well, not unless a lot of people in this country change their mind. Even if Roe versus Wade is reversed, that doesn't end it. It just reverts it back to the states.
What do you think of that argument, that the court decision, who appoints the next justices, isn't that important? Because if worse comes to worse, it'll be up to the states.
Look, this argument's been used to terrify liberals and the left and the feminist movement, and it's been used by them as scare tactics as well as on them. For as long as I can remember, Ronald Reagan, when he was elected.
Well, by that definition, you can never vote Republican ever for president.
Reagan and Bush, which had the White House for 12 years, there wasn't a single school prayer out at the end of those 12 years. There wasn't a single person prevented from having an abortion. It's diminishing returns. It doesn't work anymore, and people know when they're being got at. They know when they're being treated like
Clarence Thomas was put on the court.
Yes, but he was put on the court by the Senate Judiciary Committee, which was dominated by the Democratic Party.
I know. Anyway, thank you, Christopher.
David Souter was made a judge.
You're always contentious and always controversial. Anyway, final word from Chris when we get back. You're watching Hardball.